You know, it was something everyone was thinking. The Tomb Raider games would be a lot better if Lara Croft had a dick. Hello YouTube, I'm Darkest101, and today we'll be going into some Uncharted territory. The Uncharted series is one of the most popular and well-known franchises for the PlayStation since the launch of the PS3. I mean, look at the hype for Uncharted 4. People were jumping up and down, and all we've seen is a teaser trailer. Uncharted has also been the brainchild of veteran Sony developers Naughty Dog, coming hot off the press after Jak and Daxter. Now, I've never really been much of a die-hard fan for the Uncharted series. I mean, when I first got my PS3, I played the Uncharted 2, and while I thought it was a good game, I wasn't really hooked per se. I didn't seek out Uncharted, the first Uncharted game, after I played 2. Still haven't sought out Uncharted 3 yet. And yet here we are. I cannot start this review without saying this. The colour palette to this game feels wrong. Now, I'm not saying, guys, that the entire game looks wrong. Far from it. The character models and designs, it's just fantastic. Some of the scenery is amazing. It really sucks you in. But at the same time, there are some parts to the design of this game that just scream at the back of my head, wrong. It's just the colours to some of the icons in this game, like the skies, the waters, the trees, the buildings. They just seem a bit too Bandicoot, if you know what I mean. They're too cartoony, too vibrant, too colourful. Which would be great if this was still Crash Bandicoot, but it's not. It's Uncharted. And the cartoony colours just hurt my brain sometimes. This game is so amazingly well crafted aside from some of these odd visual aesthetics. And nowhere is that more obvious in some of these amazing character designs. For 2007, these graphics are fucking amazing. However, just because a character looks amazing doesn't necessarily mean a job well done all round. It's about how they're written as well. And these guys are written pretty damn well. These are some amazingly well written characters, like phenomenally well written. I genuinely believe the history and connection of Nate and Sully. I mean, they bicker and snap at each other, but they bounce back and work together. I mean, there's even a part in the game where, spoilers, it's thought that Sully might be working with the enemy, but Nate doesn't believe that for a second. They trust each other. Nolan North does a fantastic job as Nathan Drake. Good God, no one could just portray this guy like he does. But there are also some subtle things about Nate's character that are just there. Like that ring of his. It's never really mentioned except for one point about halfway through, but up until that point it made me wonder what history it had and what significance it had to Nate. And that subtlety in a character's appearance is rare these days. Also, his jump animation reminds me a bit of Mario. And do I even need to mention this game's soundtrack? The musical cue as soon as the main menu screen boots up is just one of the most amazing I've ever heard. It just gets me amped for adventure. Sadly, this is the only real point where I could remember the music leaving an impact on me, but even so, the rest of the music throughout the game generally matches the environments and situation that surround it. It matches the action on screen perfectly. And now we need to talk about the game's controls and its gameplay. Judging from The Last of Us, Naughty Dog have improved, let's just say that. Most of the game, you're going to be running through ridiculous numbers of enemies, through repetitive ruins and crypts, and it gets so tediously dull so very quickly, especially with the number of times you are going to die. Except when you manage to get a grenade to do what it's meant to do. Then it's fucking hilarious to watch enemies just fly up into the air as they're blown back. The controls for the gunplay sections of the game are actually pretty tight. Standard third-person shooter, but they work. Okay, so maneuvering is a bit of an issue, but it's manageable. However, outside of combat, Nate is a bit lackluster. He doesn't run that fast, and there's no sprint mechanic, and the platforming, if that's what it's called. Oh my god. In one word, I'd say that it was imprecise. In multiple, I'd say it was fucked beyond belief. It's way too vague, is what I'm trying to say. Which is appropriate because he handles like a tank elsewhere. However, despite how fucked the controls might seem in the climbing sections of this game, it's nothing compared to the jet ski. I have never known more rage than trying to get this fucking thing up the river. Holy fuck, fuck this jet ski, fuck this. Both times I had to climb onto this thing. I cannot describe how crap this can get. Fuck this damned fucking machine. I hate the goddamn jet ski and how difficult it is to goddamn fucking control this. Words cannot describe how much I hate the jet ski and its controls. So I'm just gonna not even bother trying and move straight on to the game's puzzles. In a very Tomb Raider-esque way, as if the game wasn't enough like Tomb Raider already, there are a few puzzles you'll need to solve to progress. They all revolve around clues found in Drake's journal. They don't exactly give answers, but they leave you enough you can understand. Except for one puzzle, which is so vague and open to interpretation, it actually makes my head spin at how much trial and error had to go into this for me to get it right. Emphasis being on error. With so much, I hate using this word, but with so much wrong in this game, with the controls and its platforming, the vague ass puzzles, and the motherfucking jet ski sections, which thank fuck there are only 2, it doesn't exactly build confidence for the rest of the game. So thank God that the story is somewhat interesting. Nathan Drake is a descendant of legendary explorer Sir Francis. After being funded to find his supposed ancestor by his journalist friend Elena, they managed to recover the underwater coffin of Sir Francis Drake. No, sorry, Francis is way too formal. I'm gonna call him Frank for the rest of the game now. Anyway, Nate and Elena drag Frank's coffin up from Davy Jones's locker to discover that it is empty, save for a diary. Now, let's see here, there's an empty coffin, he's a tomb robber, there's gotta be zombies in this game, bet you 50 quid. Frank's diary leads them and Nate's friend Victor Sully Sullivan to find El Dorado, the lost city of gold. When they reach the location on Drake's map, however, they find that El Dorado was never a city in the first place, but more an ancient idol, which has since been moved by the Spanish. They then find a German U-boat just sitting in the Amazon. Empty coffins, now Nazis. Is this just going to turn into zombie mode? Because I still have World at War. It's here we meet the game's villains, Roman and Navarro, who are also after the idol of El Dorado. After Nate discovers its location from the U-boat, the team head out to beat Roman and his team to the treasure, going through puzzles and all kinds of shit along the way. They soon find the decaying corpse of Frank, but without the gold. It's at this point they're attacked by zombies. Wait, there are actually zombies in this game? I was only fucking joking. Still, a bet's a bet. Pay up, mate. Reaching an abandoned Nazi bunker, which I think might have been used as set in Raiders of the Lost Ark, Nate discovers that the idol of El Dorado is in fact cursed, a fact both Frank and the Nazis found out very quickly. Okay, so there are actually Nazi zombies in this game. I might as well have put in World at War. Elena ends up getting captured as Roman and Navarro finally reach the statue. However, as Roman revels in the wealth of the gold, he is tricked by Navarro to look inside, which infects Roman with a curse, as Navarro reveals his plan to sell off El Dorado not for the gold, but as a biological weapon. Anyway, Nate follows him onto his ship, fights the bastard, gets a girl, and Sully arrives with a boatload of Deus Ex treasure, which I guess is Uncharted Drake's fortune, pretty much. I hate to say this, guys, but that's also another flaw with this game. It's a bit short. While it's impressive for its time and clearly has a very strong legacy, the fact remains that this isn't the best third-person shooter out there, especially in the action-adventure genre, and especially considering that this was for the PS3. I may be a little spoiled here because I played a lot of these types of games and have had some very high standards going in. If you like this game, that's great, but unfortunately, I'll stick to playing Tomb Raider Legends. I can get a much better experience for this type of game from that one. Don't get me wrong guys, the character of Nathan Drake is great, his interactions with Sully are pretty damn amazing, the story is intriguing, and it's a great homage to things like Indiana Jones and the original Tomb Raider. However, the story is, like I said, a little short, the controls fall flat in a lot of places, and the character of Elena just seems a little pointless if you ask me. It's like she's just another treasure there for Nate to win. For what it started, this game is amazing, but as it stands on its own as a package, Uncharted Drake's Fortune gets a dark rating of 62. So much for greatness. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's review. Have a suggestion for another one, please drop it in the comment section below. And as always, I've been Darkest101. You have been watching Darkest101 Reviews. Thanks for watching. Good night, YouTube.